So, welcome, dear devotees. Thank you so much for joining our morning Srimad Bhagavatam session. We are reading from Canto 1, chapter number 10. Today, we are starting from text number 19. We have covered up to text 18 so far. So, we are in the beautiful pastime of the Lord when Lord is departing from Hastinapur. He is departing for Dwarika after the war is finished. And this particular situation or this particular place where we are at, Lord is about to depart. Finally, after all this Uttara's pastime, Yudhishthir Maharaj, Bhishma Dev, everything happened, and Lord stayed for a few months for satisfying Subhadra as well. And then Lord is about to depart. And at that time, we saw how beautiful. Um, Yesterday, we saw that Arjuna was holding umbrella with jewels and pearls. The ladies were on the roof or on the balconies of the palace, and how they were showering flowers and all the drums. And it's a grand possession that the drums were being played and all the musical instruments being played. Let's continue our discussion. That's what's happening further while Lord is ready to depart. We'll start from text number 19. Ashruyanaisya satyastatra tatra dvijerita nanurupanurupascha nirgunasya gunatmanaha. Aruna Mataji, you want to read translation?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, everyone. Translation: It was being heard here and there that the benedictions being paid to Krishna were neither befitting nor unbefitting because they were all for the Absolute, who was now playing the part of a human being. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you. We have done 18, right? Uddhava and Satyaki begin to fan the Lord, correct? Yes. So from 19, here what happens? Again, the Uddhava and Satyaki, they were fanning the Lord. Arjuna was holding the umbrella, and the Brahmanas who were assembled here, the Brahmanas, they were giving, what is the word used? Asisha. Ashish, the first line only it says Ashish means they were giving benedictions to the Lord. They were giving like prayers to the Lord. And sometimes, even when in our life also, when someone is going, have a safe journey, aapka yatra shubh rahe. We people say have a great flight, things like that. So even here, we see that Brahmanas, they were giving benedictions, they were giving Ashish to the Lord. Now, here it is mentioned that the benedictions given, they were befitting and unbefitting at the same time. Befitting means they were appropriate and they were not appropriate at the same time. Why is that? Because Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He is supreme Lord. Who can bless him? Who are the Brahmanas who can bless the supreme Lord? So that's why I said it's not befitting, because Lord doesn't need any blessings. Lord doesn't need any ashisha. But at the same time, Lord was playing a part of a human. He was playing a part of a like a normal human cousin of Yudhishthir Maharaj, and he was going. So at that particular time, as Lord was playing a role of a family member with the Pandavas and as a cousin of Yudhishthir Maharaj, at that time, the Ashisha or the benedictions given is appropriate. So that's why this verse says the Brahmanas, they give benedictions, but they were befitting and not befitting at the same time. Because, see, the last line of the translation, it says, because the Lord was playing a part of a human, playing the part of a human being. So the benedictions given by Brahmanas, they are out of love and affection for Krishna. Not seeing Krishna as some great personality. He is a big God. He's far, far away in the spiritual world. What we learn from this is in our life, do we see Krishna, or do we um, think of Krishna as somewhere very far, some as very great, very big Lord who is sitting and deciding, Aapne ye acha kiya, or you have done something wrong, I will punish you. You have done something right, I will reward you. Is Lord someone like a high court judge sitting in a big throne and deciding all of us, or are we seeing Krishna as someone very close to us with love and affection? So we have to realize, or we have to think, that how do we pursue Lord loves love and affection with the devotees, and Lord has shown this in multiple different pastimes. He loves these loving exchanges. Here especially this verse also, the brahmanas, they were giving the benedictions out of love and affection. They were befitting or not befitting, that's a different story, but they were giving the benedictions out of love and affection, and that's what Krishna loves. So learning point for us from this particular verse is we have to ask our own self, do we have love and affection as a personal relationship with the Lord, or we see Krishna as far far away, or someone very big, it's unapproachable, or he's just deciding good and bad of everyone. Personal relationship, we can talk to Krishna. Srila Prabhupada used to pray to Krishna. Even Juhu pastime, Srila Prabhupada said that I have promised Radha Raspiyari, I have promised Radha and Krishna that I will build you a temple here. What that shows is he was communicating. He was talking, I will promise you a temple here. I will do this. I will do that. Krishna is talking. Even in Vrindavan, Radha Damodar Mandir, when he was praying, devotees asked, Oh, Srila Prabhupada, what are you praying? And Srila Prabhupada says, I am talking to Krishna. I am praying that, oh Krishna, please save me from Maya. So Prabhupada is talking to Krishna with love and affection, and that is what Krishna loves. And that is what we can learn from this, that we can have Krishna as someone very close to our heart with love and affection. Text number 20, let's move. Anshul Prabhu, you want to recite Sanskrit?
अन्योन्यम् आसीत सञ्जल्पा उत्तम श्लोकचेतसाम् कौरवेन्द्रपुरस्त्रीणां सर्वश्रुतिमनोहरः. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, thank you very much.
Translation as well.
Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Absorbed in the thought of the transcendental qualities of the Lord, who is sung in select poetry, the ladies on the roofs of all the houses of Hastinapur began to talk of him. This talk was more attractive than the hymns of the Vedas. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here, remember previous verse, we say how the ladies were on the top of the palaces, or in the balcony, or on the roof of the palaces. And here it says the ladies in the roof, they started talking about Krishna. They were talking about the pastimes or the qualities of Krishna. They were not reciting Vedic mantras or from the Shastras, but they were just normally talking about Krishna. And here it is said, those talk were more attractive than the hymn of Vedas. वेदास में कई कई बार जो बताया गया है वो घुमा फिरा के बताते हैं, डायरेक्टली नहीं बताते. We have seen this, what was the requirement of why Vyasdev divided one Veda into four Vedas, and what was the need of compiling Srimad Bhagavatam. We have seen that before already. So here it is said, Vedas sometimes it does not directly glorify Lord. They go round and round. But here, the ladies on the roof, they were directly glorifying Lord, and that's why they were more sweeter than compared to the Vedic hymns. When we do katha, Krishna katha, when we are talking about Krishna, it's not the knowledge that's coming out of our mind, it's the devotion that's coming out of our heart. we can have so many slokas and mantras and everything in our head, but when it comes out for Krishna, more sweeter is the one which is the devotion pouring out of the heart. That's why we see some speakers, they speak so many slokas and everything, but some Prabhupada disciples or some senior Vaishnavas, they give lecture, there is not a single sloka. Sometimes they just narrate a story, but it's so sweet because it's the devotion pouring out of their heart. They may not speak any single mantra in the whole lecture, but it's so sweet, it's so pleasing to the heart because it's the devotion in the heart coming out. And how the ladies were talking between each other on the roof, we see that in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Chatusloki, Machitta Madgata Prana, Bodhayantah Parasparam, Kathayantas Chatumam Nitya, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha, Bodhayantah Parasparam. That means the devotees, Tushyanti cha Ramanti cha. Tushyanti means they get satisfaction in the heart. Ramanti means it's pleasing. When devotees, Bodhayantah Parasparam, when devotees discuss between themselves about Krishna, pastimes of Krishna, glories of Krishna, the heart becomes satisfied and it's very pleasing for the Lord and for ourselves as well. And that's why we see how the ladies, they were talking about Krishna. They feel happy about talking about Krishna. Wherever Krishna Katha happens, Krishna is present. And wherever Krishna is present, that place becomes Vrindavan. Vaikuntha, that means there is no anxiety, that means there is happiness, that means there is pleasure, satisfaction. So here we see how the ladies on the roof of the palace of Hastinapur, they started Bodhayantah Parasparam. We can relate the Bhagavad Gita words to this. Number 21. Anyone else would like to recite Sanskrit? Yes, Bimal Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Savai kilayam purusha puratano ya eka asid vishesha atmani agre gunebhyo jagadambatmanishware nimilitatmanishi sutta shiktishu. Hari Om.
Thank you so much. Translation as well.
They said, "Here he is, the original personality of Godhead, as we definitely remember him. He alone existed before the manifested creation of the modes of nature, and in him only, because he is the Supreme Lord, all living beings merge. As if sleeping at night, the energy suspended." Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So the words translation begins, they said. So, they said means who said? Remember
The
where
royal
we are.
ladies of the roof.
Yes, the ladies at the rooftop, they are talking. The ladies are talking at the rooftop of the palace. Always remember in the mind that what is happening. Imagine beautifully dressed ladies on the palace of the rooftop in Hastinapur, and they are talking to between each other. Krishna and all the men, they are all assembled while Krishna is ready to depart. Just keep in mind the situation or the just the image of what is happening. Then you will be able to understand what is happening. In next few verses goes very deep and technical, but the ladies are talking at the roof of the palace. They said, "Here he is, the original personality of Godhead." The ladies are saying, "Here he is. Krishna is the original personality of Godhead." And they are saying, "He existed before the creation." Before even the whole cosmic creation, this world, the solar system, the cosmos, the universe, before it all began, Krishna existed before that also. He existed before the creation. And in him only, because all the living beings merge. What happens after this cosmic creation? The annihilation happens. We call it pralay in Hindi or Sanskrit. We call the pralay happens. After that pralay, also all the living entities and everything, they merge into him. Some people say that Krishna took birth 5,000 years back. Before that, who was God? Krishna became God. Many people say that, 5000 saal pehle Krishna came, he meditated, and then he realized that he is God. But before that, kaun tha Bhagwan? Before that, the world did not exist. But here it is said, when Prabhupada writes, if you are mathematical, interesting person, you would see Prabhupada gives the calculation of one day of Brahma, Kali Yuga, one whole lifetime of Brahma, when Pralay happens, when the creation begins, to be exactly number of days, and everything is mentioned in this purport. Prabhupada gives all the calculation. The Pralay happens at Brahma's night. It's a partial pralay happens when Brahma is sleeping at night. Partial annihilation happens, all the living entities merge. But the big pralay happens when at the end of Brahma's life, which is 100 years. Brahma's day, 24 hours or 12 hours night, 12 hours day. But Brahma's life is 100 years. At that time also annihilation happens. But what's being mentioned here, that Lord Shri Krishna existed before the creation, and he exists after the annihilation also, and that's why he is the supreme Lord. Many times, the living entities, we have to understand what happens at the time of pralay. Whoever the pious, or whoever the devotee, they have fulfilled the purpose of the creation, they go back to the spiritual world, because the spiritual world, there is no annihilation or there is no creation. It is eternal, Sat, Chit and Ananda. It is blissful and eternal spiritual world. But the pralay, annihilation or the creation, happens only to the material world. So the devotees, or the people who have achieved the perfection, they will go to the spiritual world. But the people who have not achieved, they are still going again and again, birth, death, old age and disease, they merge into the supreme Lord. And once the creation happens, whatever position their consciousness was, they come back again into this material world. And that is what this all very deep philosophy this ladies are talking. So we have to understand here that just like the sun appears in the morning, that doesn't mean the sun was not existing before. The child may say, oh, the sun is not there, it's everything dark, and in the morning sun appears. That means the sun has just taken birth. But the sun existed before also. And at night, when it's dark again, we don't see the sun. That doesn't mean the sun is gone at all. The sun has just went to a different part of the world. In the same way, Krishna existed when he appeared in this earth 5,000 years back. Krishna is present. Krishna existed before that also. And after his pastimes was finished in this world, he departed to the spiritual world or to the next Leela. That doesn't mean Krishna is dead. Krishna has just like the sun is gone to somewhere else. In the same way, Krishna has gone to a different place. A child may think, there is a birth and death of the sun. In the same way, Avajanandi Mamuda Manushim Tarinashritam. In Bhagavad Gita also it is mentioned. We have to understand this divine appearance and disappearance of Lord Shri Krishna. All right, number 22. Sa eva bhuya. Who wants to say? Anyone?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Can I give it a try, Prabhu?
Yes.
Hare Krishna. Text 22. Sa eva bhuyo nijavirya choditam swajiva mayam prakriti sisrushitam anamarupaatmanirupanamni vidhi swasmano nusasar shastrakrutam. Hare Krishna. The translation.
Yeah.
The personality of Godhead again desiring to give names and forms to his parts and parcels. The living entities placed them under the guidance of material nature. By his own potency, material nature is empowered to recreate. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. So here is the ladies are talking again on the roof of the palaces. Sa eva bhuyo nijavirya choditam. Sa eva bhuyo. That means again and again. This creation and annihilation, what is mentioned in previous verse, the Lord Shri Krishna existed before the creation and annihilation. Now this creation and annihilation, bhuyo, sa eva bhuyo, again and again. It happens again and again, repeatedly. How? Because the living entities, they are part and parcel of the Lord. And because of their desire to enjoy, the living entities desire to enjoy separate from Krishna, the living entities take birth again and again. And that's why this creation and annihilation happens again and again. And what these ladies are saying, they are the living entities as placed under the guidance of the material nature. The living entities, if you see the translation, this is they are placed under the guidance of material nature, and by his own potency, this material nature is empowered. That means this material energy is working directly under the supervision of Krishna. Maya adhyakshena prakriti suyate sa characharam hetu nanena kaunteya jagadvi parivartate. See, we see every verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, we can relate to Bhagavad Gita, that how this material energy is working under the direction or supervision or guidance of Krishna. And what it does is the people, living entity, they are part and parcel of Krishna, they are spiritual, but they have desire to enjoy, they take birth and again they are being sent by the material energy to this material world. And this is what the ladies are talking at the rooftop, See how, let's see what more the ladies say. Very beautiful, very deep philosophy they are talking about. Anyone else? 23. I will read. Savayam yat padam atra surayo jitendriya nirjita matriswanaha pashyanti bhakti yuktaliktama nanve esha sattvam parimashutum arhati. Anu Mataji, you want to read?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Here is the same Supreme Personality of Godhead, whose transcendental form is experienced by the great devotees who are completely cleansed of material consciousness by dint of rigid devotional service and full control of life and the senses. And that is the only way to purify existence. Thank you.
So here the ladies are saying again that this Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead who who existed before the creation, who exists after the annihilation, and by his divine arrangement, by the material energy, all the living entities are sent to this material world. Those who have desires, and they go again and again, and the creation process also happens again and again, and the living entities also take birth again and again. But those devotees who have, by the dint of devotional service, but those devotees who have the knowledge by dint of devotional service, they know who Krishna is, they know how to come off. It says here, the last line of the translation, the last word, it says they purify their existence. That means the devotees or the people or living entities can purify their existence by devotional service. So look at this here. The ladies are mentioning about the creation, annihilation, part and parcel of the Lord of the they are the living entities. Mamai Vamsha Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. And because of the material desires, they come here, and this material energy works under the guidance of Krishna, and the living entities can come out of this whole chakra, life, birth, death, old age, and disease, the chakra, by performing devotional service. Such a high philosophy. This is the essence of the whole Vedic scriptures, shastras, and everything. What they are mentioning here is, I think, just last week we were discussing, and someone asked, why it is said that scriptures are not meant for women, or women are considered less intelligent. We see here, they are the ladies at the roof, just a casual talk at the roof, not sitting in the Bhagavatam Katha or anything. They are just casually talking. But what the ladies are showing here is a topmost philosophy, the highest essence of all the Vedic scriptures. So, we understand from here that the ladies, they are naturally having that devotion in the heart, and by that devotion they have this very high deep philosophical knowledge as well. What they are saying here is the whole system can be understood by dint of devotional service. Very important. Devotional service, that means we are doing something for the Lord. Krishna does so much for us. God is providing so much for us. What are we doing for Krishna? Krishna gives very basic thing. Krishna provides oxygen for us to breathe. That's how we are able to live. He gives us water, nature, wood, earth for the house to be built, the trees, metals, all these things coming from the mines, fruits, vegetables, grains, rains. Our own digestive power is Krishna. Krishna gives us everything for us to survive. He is giving us every single moment, all the things. But what are we doing from him? That is what question we have to ask. Lord is doing so much. Lord is providing so much to us. What are we doing for Krishna? The whole how it works is Lord gives, gives, gives and forgives. भगवान हमको देते हैं, देते हैं, देते हैं and forgives. हमारी सारी भूलों को हम उनको याद भी नहीं करते, हम उनकी सेवा भी नहीं करते. Krishna forgives us. Lord gives, gives, gives and forgives. And what do? We get, get and forget. हम लेते हैं, लेते हैं, लेते हैं और भूल जाते हैं भगवान को. He gives, gives, gives and forgives. What we do is we get and forget. So we have to come to the understanding. For a learning point, practical application from this verse is we have to show our gratefulness. We have to show our gratitude that Krishna, I appreciate you are doing so much, you are giving. Let me also reciprocate somehow. And how can we reciprocate? The most basic, simplest, and most essential thing is by chanting Hare Krishna mantra, the full Maha mantra on the beats. Whatever our minimum number of rounds is, we have decided we have to do that chanting. Otherwise, how can we show the gratefulness? Gratefulness in the mind or in the heart is not enough. We have to show that in action. If our family member, our husband or wife is there, and in our heart there is a gratefulness, but we don't, all we do is give, get and forget them, or we don't show that in words, we don't show them in action, then how would they feel? Our husband or wife, they do so much for us, and if we don't show anything, then it's not, it will be like a one-sided relationship. And that's why with Krishna as well, Krishna is doing so much for us, Krishna is giving so much to us, that we have to reciprocate as well. And the most simple, most essential, the basic, everything else comes later, but the basic is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra on beats. We have a chanting group as well. Some of you actually from Bhagavatam, they are not in our chanting group. We can add where we add our daily scores of chanting. आज हमने इतना माला किया. We add, all of us, our Bhakti Vriksha group we add our scores, and that encourages all of others as well, that okay, we chanted, and it reminds us that we also have to chant the Hare Krishna mantra on the beat. So it's very important. And the most easiest thing, in Shikshastakam it is mentioned, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Saktis Tatrar Pita Niyamita Nasmarane Kala. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentions Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sarva Sakti. Oh Lord, you have invested all your potency, all your energy into your holy name, and तत्रार्पिता नियमिता न स्मरणे न का. देयर इज नो हार्ड एंड फास्ट रूल टू चैंटिंग. ऐसा नहीं है कि सुबह सुबह उठ के ही चैंट करेंगे, पूरा दिन नहीं करेंगे. यू कैन चैंट इन द आफ्टरनून, you can chant by evening walk. You go, the weather is getting good, if you are just have a chanting bag in the hand, and you can start chanting. Not necessarily you have to be pure and wear dhoti kurta tilak and take bath and then only chant. Wherever you are, wherever we are, we can chant. There is no hard and fast rule to begin chanting. There is no hard and fast rule. So it's very important. This is the most basic way or most simplest way we can show our gratitude to Krishna, what Krishna is providing us so many things. One last one, and then we'll stop at 24. Savayam Sakhi Anugita Satkatho Vedesu Guhyesu Chaguhyavadivi Ya Eka Esho Jagadatma Leelaya Srijati Avatiyati Natatra Sajjate. Preeti, you want to read translation? 24.
Yes. Yeah. Hare Krishna, everyone. Oh, dear friend, here is the very personality of Godhead, whose attractive and confidential pastime are described in the confidential parts of Vedic literature by his great devotees. It is he only who creates, maintains, and annihilates the material world and yet remain unaffected.
So the ladies are saying, is Krishna here? Look, oh dear friends, here is that very personality. Here is Krishna who creates, maintains, and highlights all the material world and yet remains unaffected. So as we saw before, the Vedas may give indirect approach, but many mantras, many scriptural injections may not directly glorifying Lord. But here the ladies, they are directly straight to the point, nothing round and round. They are talking just a casual talk within the other ladies at the roof, and they are telling straight to the point that it is Krishna who creates, maintains, and highlights. But this is understood by the confidential parts of the Vedic literature. In Vedic literature, it may not be mentioned straight away. It's mentioned in the confidential part of the Vedic literature. All right, so we'll stop at 24. We will begin from 25 tomorrow. I'm thinking in about 2 days, tomorrow and the day after, we should be able to complete this 10th chapter. And then 11 and then 12th, again, the birth of Parikshit Maharaj will come, which is actually how the story started. Describe the birth of Parikshit Maharaj. I think the 12th or 13th should come. All right. Any additions? Any real reflections? No? Okay. Thank you so much. Keep on sharing your realizations, learning points from in the group. And if you want to recite Sanskrit sloka or something, just let me know. I will try to include. Today I forgot my glasses, so I just asked everyone to read Sanskrit because I couldn't see properly. Okay, thank you so much.
Prabhuji,
Yes,
if
yes.
you have a minute, real quick,
Yeah.
I wanted to just bring this out. Bhakti Sangha Japa group, that they have 7 days a week, early morning, our early morning time. And this just correlates to what we were reading about Lord Brahma's lifespan and things like that, and how we talk about everything pralaya goes into Bhagwan Krishna's stomach, and how science says it after so many calculations that it's a black hole. Everything
Yeah.
goes into. It was so good that if anybody wants to see that or hear that lecture, it's by Radha Pramod Prabhu on Bhakti Sangha Japa. I can even put it on our here
Yes.
site.
Yes, please share in the group, in the WhatsApp
Okay.
group. Yeah. Thank you so
Really
much.
good.
Thank
Sure.
you. I really appreciate your thoughts. Thank you.
Thanks.
ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय.
Hare Krishna.